If your outfits feel kind of uninspired, or you're staring at your wardrobe, hating everything you own, it is not because you're bad at style. As a style strategist, I have worked with dozens of women, and I can promise you it is never about buying more clothes. What it often comes down to is simple mistakes that can totally change how you look and feel in your outfits. And so today, I am breaking down the 7 reasons why your outfits feel off and how to fix them without buying a whole new wardrobe. Let's dive right in. The first and biggest reason is that your outfit is a bland salad. And before you're wondering, this is not a cooking channel, so let me explain. This is a lettuce and this is a tomato. And technically, if we put them together, we could make a basic salad. But is the salad actually going to be tasty? Is it going to be exciting or interesting? Chances are you're not going to be excited. And that is because it is very, very simple. Too simple. And the same thing applies to our outfits. Whenever we take two pieces and just put them together, our outfits tend to feel really, really plain and boring. And before you say, well, Millie, that's because you're pairing two boring black items, let me show you a different version with more interesting items. And you can still see that the outfit that is comprising of literally two pieces is still very boring. Now, if we're making a salad, you're going to add some olive oil for dressing, maybe some seeds to add extra excitement, and maybe you can add some more ingredients just to make the salad richer. And that is what typical style advice is all about. People tell you to add a nice jacket, to accessorize with a hat, maybe add a scarf or an interesting bag, and that works if you're just going outside. So both of those outfits become a lot more interesting if we're adding a lot of things on top. But what happens if you go into the office or you're working from home and you can't be wearing your bag and hat everywhere you go? Well, this is where jewelry is actually extremely powerful. And of course, we can always go for those really big and statement pieces, but what if you don't actually like them? You're more of a minimalist when it comes to jewelry. Or what if those pieces are actually not appropriate for wherever you're going, for example, in the office? Well, in that case, you can use pieces that are still interesting, but they're also a little bit more delicate and more elegant. And that is going to allow you to create a lot of visual interest in your portrait zone. And if you're looking for those pieces that are intricate and more interesting, but still delicate enough to wear every day, I've been absolutely loving those pieces from Linjer. And if it's your first time hearing about them, they're a really high quality jewelry brand. So think solid gold, sterling silver, and really high quality gold plated vermeil. So it is about 5 times thicker than what you can find anywhere else. What I love about Linjer is that you get that luxury feel all the way from the packaging, how pieces arrive, all the way to actually wearing them without having that luxury price tag. Because you're literally getting pieces that would cost at least twice on the high street, but because Linjer is cutting out the middleman and selling directly to you, it is actually a lot more affordable. And if you care about sustainability like I do, they use recycled gold and silver to create their pieces, which I really like, and also lab-grown diamonds, so they're conflict-free. So regardless of what kind of material you want to use, they're actually a great piece. So I decided to pick 4 pieces that are all made of sterling silver, and that is because I'm cool-toned and I love silver jewelry. I wear silver most of the time, but if you're someone that maybe is more warm-toned or you just prefer gold jewelry, you can go for solid gold pieces, or if this is a little bit above your budget, the gold-plated pieces are also absolutely beautiful. And the best part for me is that all the 4 pieces that I picked had a point of visual interest. So even a very delicate necklace actually has these little bold details. The ring has the topaz stones, the earrings have the irregular shape and the pearl, and the bracelet looks a little bit like a chain. And so depending on how minimalist or maximalist you are, you can absolutely layer those pieces and create interesting looks. So let me show you how the outfit looks without any jewelry and how it looks with the jewelry. So as you can see, especially if you have more of a simple outfit, wearing a couple of pieces of delicate but still interesting jewelry can make a massive difference to how complete the outfit feels. And it's exactly like that salad. Rather than having just the 2 main ingredients, you have added some of the extras and made this a lot more richer and more exciting. And the same thing applies even for more interesting outfits. And this is where I sometimes struggle because I feel like I want to wear something, but I don't want to wear something that is extremely statementy. And so that's why I've been absolutely loving the necklace, because it is still there. I can see it, but at the same time, it is not too in your face. It is not drawing attention from the rest of myself and my outfit. And so even today with this more intricate detail top, I'm still wearing the necklace because I want to have something in here, but not something that is so big that is taking attention away from me. And I've been absolutely loving just mixing Linjer jewelry with my own silver pieces and creating a bit more of a maximalist look because I just enjoy it. So if you like any of the pieces, I'll have them linked below, and you can use code MILIVILIKVE to get a little discount as well. So they make the perfect present for Mother's Day, birthdays, anything like that. So if you're someone that wears jewelry on a regular basis, or maybe you want to start wearing jewelry, I would absolutely recommend Linjer. So now that you know how big of an impact jewelry can actually make on how you feel in your outfits, let's move to reason number 2 why you may feel a bit uninspired. This is something that I notice so many people make, myself included, whenever we're trying to get ready for a certain situation. Maybe it is going for work or going for a coffee in a very casual manner. Oftentimes we fall into the trap of wearing items that all belong in exactly the same style. So let me show you what I mean. In here, you can see that my skirt and the shirt, the shoes and the bag all belong to this office formal kind of style. And so you can see that there is no contrast, there is no tension between any of those elements. And while this is not necessarily a bad outfit, I don't absolutely hate it, at the same time, it just feels a bit meh. It doesn't feel interesting, doesn't feel exciting, there is just nothing spicy in there. And so rather than pairing everything quite formal, we can introduce one or two different elements that are maybe a little bit more casual to still create a relatively formal look, but one that feels a little bit more interesting and has a little bit more tension. And so in here, you can see that I am wearing this knitted cardigan, and it is perfectly appropriate for the office. It is something that I feel still looks very formal, still looks very put together, but because the cardigan is made out of cotton, it is crocheted, it's a little bit more interesting, and it's also a little bit more flat. It looks slightly less formal compared to the skirt, and so it creates a bit of tension. It creates a point of interest. And of course, you could also wear a knitted jumper and create exactly the same effect. And you can see that in both of those outfits, I have actually decided to go for a slightly less structured bag. This one is made out of canvas and again, contrasts a little bit with the skirt and the shoes that are more polished. And so by pairing those more casual with those more formal items, I'm creating outfits that feel a lot more elevated. Now, does this mean that you can never wear the silk blouse? No, you just pair it with stuff that are a lot more casual, more relaxed. And so in here, I've worn it with my black jeans and my gray studded jacket. And so you can see that both of those pieces are a lot more casual, a lot more relaxed. And so they create this nice contrast with the silk blouse. I've decided that I actually want to keep the structured bag because maybe I'm going for brunch, and so I still want to feel put together. I don't want to feel completely relaxed. And so again, you can see that we have about 50% formal items and 50% casual, and that creates a lot more visually interesting outfit than the one that we started with. And this actually doesn't apply to just very formal outfits. We can fall into the trap of dressing purely for one aesthetic or one style, even with more casual items. And that leads me to reason number 3, and that is that your outfit is lacking a focal point. So in here, we're starting with my black jeans, my combat boots, and one of my favorite jumpers that has those studded details. And you can see that, especially paired with the more grungy bag, it all looks a little bit tough, a little bit more edgy. And so there's nothing bad with this outfit, and individually, I love all of those pieces, but you can see that there is not really a focal point. It all kind of looks one-dimensional. And so following from the previous point, we can introduce even one item that is from a different aesthetic that is going to create a little bit of contrast and dimensionality. And so in here, I decided to go for a silk scarf, which you can say is more from the formal or more romantic style. And so it creates that contrast with the tougher, edgier base. And I also decided that instead of the black chain bag, I'm going to go with this pink one. And so you can see that by just incorporating two really, really small pieces that are from a contrasting style, we have created a focal point in the outfit and created that three-dimensionality. And there's so many different ways to add dimensionality and focal point to your outfits. For example, you can tie a jumper and again change the bag to something that is a little bit more structured, and straight away we have added that 3D element that is creating the focal point and telling your eyes what to focus on. And when it comes to contrast, I can't help but talk about contrast of textures. And that is actually reason number 4 why your outfits may feel a little bit more uninspired. So when it comes to textures, those of you that have watched my videos, you know I love my graphs. I have created this system where I categorize textures based on 2 different components. Number 1 is whether they're matte or shiny, and number 2 is whether they're actually flat and smooth, or whether they're a little bit more rough or 3-dimensional. And so based on that system, we have 4 different kinds of textures. Number 1 is those textures that are very flat and also very matte. So anything that is, for example, a flat knit like wool or cashmere, any sort of softer denim, trousers, anything like that falls into this category. So basically, these are fabrics that don't reflect the light, so cottons, linens are also going to fall into this category. Group number 2 are still matte items, but they have a layer of three-dimensionality. So they have some sort of texture. And this can be things like lace or crochet, or even things like corduroy and velvet. Basically fabrics that are matte, but still have this texture about them. In group number 3, we have fabrics that are shiny, but still flat. And so the best fabric in here is actually silk, but it can also be things like leather trousers as well, because they're still shiny, but really smooth to the touch. And group number 4 are those textures that are both shiny and three-dimensional. And so in here, we can talk sequins, rhinestones, embellishments, anything that is shiny and 3D. So the mistake in here is pairing items that have exactly the same level of texture, so ones with ones, twos with twos, and so on. Again, because there is no tension, no difference, no contrast, your outfits can feel a little bit more boring and one-dimensional. But let's say pairing shiny with shiny is not that bad because there is still something going on in there. Versus if we pair something that's flat and matte with something that's also flat and matte, like we have in here, that jumper with a pair of jeans, you can see that it just looks very blunt. And yes, we can accessorize it, we can use any of the previous points, but it doesn't change the fact that the textures, the base of it, is still very much not contrasted. And so let's say that we keep the same jumper on top, we really like it, we need to change the bottom. And so for example, just changing the jeans for the corduroy pants straight away creates a bit more visual interest. But if we change that for faux leather pants, it creates even more contrast and creates a visually more interesting outfit. And the same thing actually applies to the jeans. Maybe we want to keep them and still want to have a pink jumper. Well, I've added here this textured one, and you can see straight away, because one is flat, the other is more textured, we have contrast, and that creates more visual interest. And of course, we can start adding shine as well. So you can see the jeans paired with a shinier top or with a shiny and textured top, and it starts to amplify that difference. Now, not all of those outfits will fit the exact same purpose, but let's say if you're going for work or you're working from home, try and see, are you using exactly the same level of textures in your top and bottom? And if the answer is yes, try to move one of the items to be 1 degree different. So maybe we go from flat to three-dimensional, or we go from matte to shiny, and that is going to give you so much capacity to create interesting outfits. Another reason that I think ruins so many outfits, including my own, is wearing very, very basic shapes in neutral or plain colors. So let me show you what I mean. So in here, we have my silk shirt with my jeans, and you can see that in terms of shapes, it's a blouse and a white-like pair of trousers, and that is something that you can wear to pretty much any workplace and feel very good. However, because we have very plain shapes and also very plain colors, we don't have anything to create visual interest. And this is where I have one of my favorite tricks to still keep the outfit office appropriate, but still create this element of excitement. The first thing you can do is actually use the previous point. So we're going to change this very plain blouse for something that has a bit more texture. And so you can see that straight away by adding this white cotton blouse. It has all of those details. It created a lot more of an interesting outfit. And if we wanted to make this even better, I would actually wear that with sneakers. So we have created slightly different style, and I actually wore this outfit to work and I felt really good. Now, of course, texture is not the only way that you can change that. You can also add pattern. And I think that by keeping the item the same, so we're not wearing a t-shirt, we're not wearing a jumper or sweatshirt, we're still wearing a shirt, but we have taken a shirt that has a pattern that is a lot more visually impactful than the plain silk blouse. We have still created an office appropriate outfit, maybe for a slightly more creative place, but it's still very much the same shape, the same two kind of top and bottom, but it is a lot more visually interesting and to me personally a lot more inspiring as well. Now, the pattern doesn't have to be that bright and loud. You may pick floral pattern, polka dots, anything that is maybe a little bit more intricate. If that is your preference, you can go for stripes or anything like that. Just basically not going for a very solid color shirt, because that is straight away taking away all the opportunity for excitement. And now that you know all about the items that can impact your outfit and how interesting it appears to you, let's now talk about something that I feel most of us overlook. And that is the impact that nails, hair, and makeup can have on the feeling of an outfit. So this is me without any makeup, basically how I wake up. And you see that my hair is not done, my nails are not painted, I'm not wearing any makeup. And so even though I'm wearing an outfit that I think is very cute and I really like it, I still don't feel 100% in there. And so I'm much more likely to think that something's wrong with the outfit. When in fact, all I needed to do was spend 10 minutes straightening my hair, painting my nails, and I've also spent about 5 minutes doing a very, very basic everyday makeup. I'm not a fan of anything super heavy. I prefer a little bit more of a natural look, but you can see how much of a difference it actually makes when you are a little bit more put together versus when you're not. And so the next time you're looking in the mirror and feeling like your outfit is a little bit meh, ask yourself whether your hair, makeup, or nails are actually complementing the outfit. And if the answer is no, spend 5 minutes focusing on at least one of those elements, and I promise you, you're going to see the difference. And that actually leads me to reason number 7. And this one is super important because I think that most of us don't realize how much of an impact our hormones have on our self-perception. So I am someone that weighs myself quite frequently, and I know that every single day my weight doesn't really fluctuate that much. It's maybe plus minus half a kilo, right? And so there's not necessarily a visible change that goes from day to day. But there's so many factors that go behind the scenes that can completely change how I'm seeing myself, my body, and as a result, the outfit that I'm putting on. And so things like lack of sleep, not exercising enough, not eating well, and generally hormones, menstrual cycles, menopause, anything like that that can affect your hormones can completely change how you see yourself in the mirror. And so I have those moments sometimes where I've put the same outfits one evening, so the lighting's not good, maybe I'm feeling very tired, I've not eaten very well. I put the outfit and it feels terrible. And then the next day, after I've slept, maybe I'm feeling a little bit better, maybe I've taken 10 minutes to do some sort of exercise or just anything for myself. I put on the same outfit, and of course, like my weight, my body hasn't really changed, but how I feel about myself has actually changed a lot. And so I'm looking at the mirror and the outfit feels completely different. And so if you ever feel like your outfit is wrong or uninspired or just off, ask yourself whether you've slept well, eaten well, have you moved your body today, and is there something going on in terms of your hormones? And it is only then when you feel like you're in a good condition that you can start to use all the previous points that I talked about. Because if you don't feel good in your body on that specific day, it's going to be very hard to just change the feeling of a look purely by changing its elements. So I feel like I've been doing a pep talk a little bit, but it is so important because I oftentimes feel like I need to throw away my entire closet or this outfit completely doesn't work, when in fact it was just me in my head, and the next day or in 3 days, it was actually a lot better. So always give your outfits a second or even a third chance. And if after every time you've put on the specific item or the specific outfit, it still feels off, then you can do a lot of troubleshooting and use the previous tips to figure out exactly what is wrong with it. So these were the first 7 reasons why outfits feel off, and I definitely feel there is a lot more I can touch upon. So let me know in the comments if you want to see a part 2. And remember to check Linjer if you want to get yourself some really beautiful pieces that can absolutely add visual interest and spice up your outfits, so you're always excited when you see yourself in the mirror or on camera. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.